What was he playing at?
Oh, TekkaBooSon. I mean that, TekkaBoo.
So obviously we lost 2-1 to Liverpool at home. I was really excited for this game. I always am. I always feel like the Chelsea-Liverpool games, they've been fantastic over the years. Really high intensity, lots to lose and lots to play for. Obviously David Luiz was returning as well for his second debut against Liverpool. I couldn't wait to see what he was going to be like. I know he's had a bit of a funny time at PSG and a lot of people said he's actually got worse, but I really feel he can bring a lot to the team, and obviously we're just really happy to have him back. It's Conte's first big game test as well. I like what I've seen so far. I feel like he's been getting the starting lineups a bit wrong, but he saves that with subs. A guy called Swagger on Twitter described games this season as a bit of a rescue job. I totally agree, because Conte has been saving the games with substitutions. But I was hoping Conte would learn from his mistakes so far this season, which has mostly been, if he gets the starting lineup wrong, which he doesn't with a few players, then he makes the substitutions early, around the sort of 60 or 65th minute, so he gives them enough time to impact the game. Nemanja Matic started again. He's had an okay start to the season. It's much better than last season because he was absolute dross. But does he justify a starting place, especially against Liverpool? I don't think so. However, I can understand why he did start Matic over Fabregas, because if he wanted a more solid midfield, a more defensive-minded midfield, then in Matic he'll get that over Fabregas. So I'll let him off on this occasion. We started awfully. Liverpool completely overran us. They seem to have a lot more pressure on the ball. They seem to offer a lot higher intensity. They just looked a lot fitter and more up for the game. The first goal was just absolutely horrendous defending. I have no idea what went on there. We had, I think it was 3 or 4 players unmarked in the box, and there needs to be some sort of communication there. I know Luiz has only just come back into the team, but he should still be able to tell players to mark, or go mark him himself. I think that's one thing we do miss when John Terry's not in the team. So we're 1-0 down, and then Jordan Henderson, of all people, Jordan Henderson goes and scores an absolute cracking goal. About 25-30 yards out, top bins. You can't really do much about that. I won't blame the defence, and I won't blame Conte. It's just one of those things. So we're 2-0 down to Liverpool at home. We go in at half-time. Conte's got to be thinking he's going to make changes. He's got to be thinking, I've got this wrong. The team is not performing. They look lethargic. They're so slow, not creating any chances. But he doesn't make any changes again, and we're waiting for something to happen. Nemanja Matic gets a really good assist, to be fair to him. He didn't have a good game, but I think he dummied 2 players, chipped it to Costa, and Diego Costa, as he does, he scored. At this point, I felt like we were pushing Liverpool back. We were starting to win the game back again, and we really needed to make some substitutions right there and then. We needed Batshuayi on immediately up front with Costa, and if we're not going to do that, we definitely need to stick Fabregas on, because he seems to be the only one that can actually create, especially when Hazard's off the ball, which he was. In fact, David Luiz was probably our most creative player. He didn't make any substitutions, and he waited until the 83rd minute, and then he made a triple sub. He puts on Fabregas, Pedro, and Moses. Fabregas then proceeded to completely dictate play for the next 7 minutes or so. He was pinging the balls about left, right and centre. We actually looked dangerous, and I felt like if he'd have done that 20 minutes earlier, then we would definitely broke Liverpool down, and we would have at least drawed, but I really think we could have gone on and nicked the game. You're chasing the game, and you've got Batshuayi, who's proven he can get goals, he's proven he can be a cracking player, and you leave him on the bench, but you bring on Pedro and Moses. I don't understand it. So we lost the game 2-1. I place most of the blame on Conte. I love the man, and I really hope he's going to be a long-term manager for us. I really hope we can create some sort of era that we had similar to when Jose first came. But they're just stupid mistakes. Why are you waiting until the 83rd minute to make a triple sub? It just doesn't make any sense. I just really hope he learns from it, because he's been doing it all season. I heard he did it a lot at Juve. If it's not working, if your players aren't performing and you've got some really good players on the bench, stick them on and at least give them some sort of time to impact the game. Don't give Fabregas 10 minutes, especially when he's been impressive all season off the bench as well. On David Luiz, I thought it was fantastic. I thought he was really solid at the back, didn't do anything stupid. He created a few chances with a few pings from the back. He looked assured on the ball as well, and he seemed to be bossing the team around straight away, so he's obviously not lost any of his confidence. I really think he's going to be a cracking signing for us, and I'm really happy he's back. We play Leicester in a few days. I really hope Conte starting lineup does not have Matic in it. I hope he takes some sort of, not a risk, but he just gives Fabregas a chance because he's looked really good so far off the bench. And I think if we could really start killing teams off, especially with Luiz being creative from the back. And if we get Hazard going properly, then we could be a real force. Costa just needs some sort of service. He's got 5 goals in 5 games, I think, and he's been completely starved of service. So imagine what he could do if we actually got the ball to him frequently. Here's to a better game versus Leicester.